Your ATM is safe, your banks are safe, there's enough cash in the financial system, and there is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve, an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
An infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love?
I don't see any good. Like like that's the thing that hurts. Is I don't see any good.
No, it's just fucking sad.
And like I don't see good in the future. I don't see good now. I don't see it.
Have you listened to the new Tim Dillon episode?
With Jones?
Yeah.
Yes.
I finished that episode and I just felt bad. I was just like, fuck, dude. This is like,
See, that's the thing.
just all of it unwinding and just being like the collapse of just all these narratives that were being built up for so long. And it's like,
But no, this is the thing. This is the part that bothers me the most, is that none of those narratives are going to collapse. None of them are. No, the mainstream media isn't going to like switch their tune. Maybe fucking 10 years from now.
yeah, and the majority of people's opinions will not change either.
Yeah, they're just going to move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
That's all that's going to happen. There will be no progress. There will be no fucking, oh, we realize now. It's just going to keep getting worse.
Yeah.
And like, this is the reason why I wanted a group of people who I could trust in fucking, because fuck searching for good out there. We can create good right here. We can build a community of goodness and betterment. Like, we can start that. We can do it. But no. You guys are scared of fucking reality, and I'm supposed to believe that somehow you're gonna survive the fucking end of America. Shut the fuck up. I barely think I'm gonna survive. You think I have any faith in you people who can't get past your emotions? It's not happening. And like, I don't get overwhelmed with it like that anymore when I watch things, because like, that's just how I feel all the time.
and that's the kind of mentality that like it just gets to you and then you just stop. It's like, oh, you know, you're so overwhelmed and it's like, fuck, I just better give up because
I've been doing the exact opposite. I've been getting more motivated about
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that mentality is shit, and then you should like use that to fuel your fire and like get going with it.
It does, you know, stifle. It's fucking, you know, holding up the sky like Atlas. It's a fucking impossible challenge that you'll never finish. But I don't want to stop. Like,
Of course.
like there's a song, fucking, the song doesn't matter, but at the end of the song there's like, you know, the little monologue where like the dude's talking to his grandpa or something, and he's just the piece of advice that the grandpa is giving is stay inside of yourself. Stay inside of yourself and develop. Don't go outside yourself. Don't get distracted. And it's like, that's the thing I need to get to, is like, I need to stop worrying about others, trying to change others, trying to get this community of fucking what I want. And I just got to become literally the best absolute version of myself.
Yeah. And
then probably get, you know, sniped in the head by the CIA at my first speech.
yeah, most likely. But, you know, and hopefully, Jesus Christ, hopefully that will like attract people. Like that greatness will be so alluring that like people just cannot stay away. And I you know, and then you get into the idea of like, okay, well, that's just like cult leader charisma, and just like then you get down that fucking hole. But you know, like, what other alternatives are there besides with the best intentions that you can possibly hold?
You will be labeled the villain.
Become great. Just be the best you can possibly be.
In fact, cliche gay example. You know what I just finished reading today?
Huh.
The Superior Spider-Man. You know what the Superior Spider-Man is?
No.
Superior Spider-Man is when Doc Ock transfers his consciousness into Spider-Man and puts Spider-Man's consciousness into his dying body and then becomes the new Spider-Man. And then he lives his life as Peter Parker, and he's like, I am going to be the superior Spider-Man. He's completely egocentric. He fucking doesn't give a shit about Mary Jane, Aunt May. He ends up finding some new midget that he loves, literally a midget. He ends up blackmailing J. Jonah Jameson while Jonah's the mayor. So, like, he blackmails him into giving him access and information to whatever he wants. He creates, like, thousands of spider drones that are just constantly crawling through New York, spying on people, in people's houses, like, everywhere. He gets this, like, air of superiority, being the superior Spider-Man, and fucking is like, I'm better. Like, he leaves the Avengers and says, you are nothing without me.
Whoa.
That's the level of fucking, like, insanity this guy is on. And so, having not read a Spider-Man comic ever since I was, like, in middle school, reading this, the big crux is that, like, Peter was hiding in the background of his consciousness, and then Doc Ock realized he was there and tried to erase all of the memories inside of there, because what ended up happening was he kept Peter's memories, that way he could recall them to make life easier. What that did was end up giving, like, Peter's subconscious a way to form back into, like, this person through the combined memories. Doc Ock realized this, purges all the memories, left 31 memories that were things he had previously, like, observed through his memory files, and they just were now dedicated to Octavius's memory. And so, throughout all this, Peter's trying to come back to reality. He's trying to come back to being, like, consciously present to where he can talk to fucking Octavius again. And he tries to hide in Octavius' memories and ends up living Octavius's whole life in his memories. Which eventually leads to the point where they swapped memories. And what ended up happening when they had swapped memories is that all of Peter's memories had went into Dr. Ock. So now Peter got all of his memories back again. And he gets this, like, fully realized version of himself after he's been broken down and lost in this psyche forever, losing himself, and fucking now he's like, no, this is me, this is who I am. I'm the guy who always does good, never gives up. And it's just, it was hitting me, man. It was just like, yeah, you have, like, you can't, no matter how good you are, because, like, that's the whole thing, is that, like, Spider-Man, the actual Spider-Man, no matter how good he is, he's always labeled the menace, the villain, the fucking web-headed fucking crawler, the wall-crawling menace, whatever the fuck Jonah wants to call him. Like, he's always on the back end of some shit. In the recent Spider-Man movie where his fucking secret identity gets revealed, like, he's always getting fucked over and labeled the bad guy, regardless of how much good he does. Whereas the superior Spider-Man murders people, he fucking beats people within an inch of their life, literally knocks the jaw off a scorpion, fucking, like, he's bad.
But, like, then he gets recognized finally as, like, this great guy.
Everyone loves him.
Wow.
Everyone loves him.
I can't help but draw some psychological comparisons to it.
Yeah?
Where it's like, okay, you have Peter Parker, who is like the original, you know, the pure little ball of light, and then you have Doc Ock, who's like the darkness, the shadow, if you will, who comes in, overtakes him, conflicts. Out of the darkness rises a better version of yourself because you confronted the darkness that you didn't see before, which, like, you know, Doc Ock is like not Spider-Man, but like it still has like a comparison to it.
Yeah, it's still this same like entity in this
and then
story.
out of this battle
If you meta the
inside,
story.
out of this battle inside, then you have the greatest version that emerges, the victor, and then somehow
and that is what happens. Like, when Peter comes back and he's talking to Doc Ock, like, Doc Ock says to him, he's like, the whole city's burning and it's on fire, and Spider-Man's like, dude, how the fuck could you let things get this bad? And he Doc Ock says something to the effect of, like, sure, I pretend to be the superior Spider-Man, and I say that I'm wiser and smarter, and everybody else is below me, and they're lesser minds. But you've been in my head. You know that it's all a front. You know that I'm insecure, and I want validation, and that's where this comes from. Peter, your problem is that you are good, you are great, and you can't give yourself that recognition. You need to accept that you are the superior Spider-Man. That's like the big conclusion. And he's like, yeah, regardless of the hardship I go through, I am that nigga. Like, that's, you know, Spider-Man is the GOAT. And like, real is real, out of all the superheroes ever, Spider-Man is probably one of the best out of like Marvel.
He's great.
He like story, character, personality, motives, powers. He just across the board wins.
Just to finish my thought about the psychology, the one that emerges the highest is also the most like ethically grounded, adjusted, yeah. But it's like, you know, you get into the argument of like ethics are man-made, they can break down, you don't really need them, and like blah blah blah. But like ethics, because they work for the betterment of other people, will always come out on top, because better over here, better with me, mutually combines to create the ultimate better, where it's like, I'm a shithead, but I believe I'm better, and I make all those people suffer. I'm going to suffer in return, because you can't just be yourself and like, survive everything.
Yeah,
and, like,
you can't. You need to interact.
You need other people.
And this is the thing that fucking kills me, is the fact that I want other people. I don't... Like, I get I'm abrasive and I'm an asshole, but I genuinely don't think I do anything, like, so outlandish that pushes people away the way that I do. Which is what led me to this, like, conclusion that, like, I am threatening. Like, my presence is threatening to people.
Maybe it's the...
Time out. I just want to say, guys, we might split this episode into 2 parts. So if you guys just started on episode like 14 and we were just talking, that's why this is, you know, split from the last episode. Keep going.
Maybe it's the frequency with which you use the kind of like pushback, punching holes, like shit talking, that to somebody who you meet, like that first impression is very like meaningful to them, and it sticks to them, and so they have assumptions about you that they can't get rid of, and so that just ends up becoming you no matter what you present afterwards.
In the idea that I was presenting, I'm not talking about people that like I'm newly coming into contact with.
Okay,
I'm
like
talking about people that have known me for fucking years,
right,
that somehow just be like, nope, can't do this.
Yeah,
like
I'm at a loss.
The more I dive into ideology, philosophy, fucking intelligence, the more I dive into these fucking things, like not accepting propaganda, calling shit out where I see it, like the more I do these things, the more I push people away in my personal life.
You could have also just been dealt a shitty hand with the people that you know. Because like I'd
like to just fucking like write it off as that, but like I'm inclined to believe that I'm fucking something up. And like you said, I can agree. I would agree that like I probably use the offensive punching holes, poking holes, calling you on your bullshit too much, but I can't help it. I cannot suffer inauthenticity. It hurts me. I hate it. I hate when you say something and in the next sentence contradict it. That doesn't make sense. Justify that. Make that make sense. Rectify. Not for me, for you. This is not in order. You are not fucking organized. You like your ideas conflict with your other ideas.
Maybe people see it more as bullying rather than like putting you through the ring.
Which I could understand with new people. People who haven't been with me for years, who can obviously, with 5 minutes of evaluation, decide that, like, I don't want the worst for you. Like, Stefan, if I had any power, any say, I would stop you from selling to A and B.
Just to quit it? Just, like, okay, why? I guess. Why? I want to know why.
Neither of them was selling more than pounds before me and you. Neither. Neither was buying ounces of dabs. And when they were fucking $400-$500. They were fucking getting dab and dots. They were getting shitty fucking, like, Jacob still has a jar of dabs that he has had since before he started buying from you. Because it's shitty. They were paying way over for way shittier product.
Yeah, I see where you're going now.
Because of me, Logan can now sustain his entire life off of selling. This dude makes a killing on selling. Like, but in both of their eyes, I am somebody who hates them, has never done anything for them. I've never, like they genuinely, like, act like I'm just out to get them.
Mm-hmm.
When I genuinely cannot find a single moment in history I've been out to get them. Like, my brother is the craziest one. Like, I was talking to Tymir and Ricardo about this. Like, he fucking hates me. I don't know why. I don't know what I've done to Jacob. He hates me. And that's where we get back to I think he's threatened. Like, I just feel like these people, like, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Is that, like, I'm intimidating, and not because of my physical stature.
And it does make sense because I've never had that problem that you've had, but I'm also very passive. I just sit here and I don't, like, argue with people. I just let them go, and it's like,
whereas,
I'm not giving them the opportunity to get pissed off at me, you know? So, like, it makes sense. It really does.
Yeah. An opinionated white man is just not acceptable.
It's too much for people.
It's not acceptable.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And if I had to guess, it's not so much a cognitive, like, threatening. It's like a subconscious genetic thing. Like, they can just tell. Like, there's types of people, right? There's types of people. Like, you're going to get born into thinking a certain way. Like, sure, you can augment that, but, like, certain people are going to be prone to violence. Certain people are going to be prone to this. Certain people are going to be like, you're going to have the presets in there. And so the same way, the idea that there's archetypes locked in there to the point where, like, without any fucking outside experience, you can kind of guess how you're supposed to realize into reality because your subconscious has these it's almost like the subconscious has ideas of who's fucking in charge. And you don't like seeing the king in the flesh. You don't like it. You don't like it because you're not that. Like, if you feel like you're the shit and somebody walks in the room actually being the shit, you're going to feel like shit.
And you're going to have to, like, peacock. You're going to have to, like, prove your worth.
Be bravado. Or the more painful option is reevaluate yourself. Where are you fucking up? And, like, this is where I'm at this fucking crossroad, whereas am I just threatening people or what am I fucking up? Like, this is, like, something that's fucking with me a lot. Is, like, I can't move forward into, like, behavior and actualization if I can't solve this.
Right.
Like, I need to know whether or not what I'm doing is so fucking wrong or so fucking right that it's pushing away the demons. For, you know, a metaphorical reference. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, I would just say, like, okay, trial and tribulation, and then you just run experiments. But in your circumstances, it's kind of difficult to do that.
Yeah.
So,
And, like,
I don't know, man. Like, talking to like psychological experts. It's not that easy to do that.
What, get better help and talk to some
Yeah, but-
20-year-old blonde chick sitting in her fucking New York apartment?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she knows best. She's not some liberal white woman who was indoctrinated in college.
It's tough.
That's one of my favorite things about Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast is the fact that Matt went back to school simply to fucking see if it was really that bad. Like, he went and got his doctorate just to go and see. Just to go and like, he's like, yeah, it's awful. It's horrible. They're completely racist, prejudiced, insanely fucking like one-sided viewpoints. And anytime I say anything, the whole room gets mad. And like, it's things like that that are making me get this idea that like I'm threatening people. Cause like, Matt McCusker is not a threatening man. He's a fucking goofball who sits in his house like, his dog eats his fucking mushrooms. Like, that's the type of shit. Like, one of the greatest stories is when his dog, like, so there's a group of comedians. I think it was, It was this guy, Tommy Pope and Chris O'Connors, and they were at this fucking festival, I think it was Legion of Skanks, and it was this fucking comedy festival. And so, at Legion of Skanks, there's always fucking, like, the crowd literally will bring lots of drugs to just hand out to the comics.
Whoa.
Like, in every year, it's always the same.
And so they just run home with just stashes of
Yeah,
shit?
they hand them out, they share them with the crowd. Like, it's all just communal drug taking at this comedy special.
Wild.
And so, like, to the point where, like, this one guy handed them, like, this bag full of shrooms. And was like, here you guys go. And, like, they took a few out and went to hand it back. He's like, no, those are yours. Like, just a fucking dude in the crowd. And they were just
That's
like,
so fucking rad.
okay. They took a cap and a stem.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the strong strains.
No. Okay.
So, according to them, because it was those two and then Shane took them, they gave them to Shane and Shane took a few and then it was just, and fucking Tommy and Chris ended up having to walk back to the fucking hotel and like, it was like 3 blocks, but Tommy felt like he was walking for hours. He thought that Chris O'Connor was making deals with these 2 fat guys who were walking down the street to get Tommy. Like, Tommy was going crazy, fucking paranoid. Shane was losing his mind at the fucking... He stayed at the comedy place, losing his fucking mind on these shrooms. The whole point that I'm making is that they got a bag of shrooms that were so infinitely stronger than they were ever expecting. Like, they lost their minds off of a cap and a stem for hours. Shane ended up getting that baggie of shrooms, gave them to Matt so that Matt could take them with Tim Butterly and his other guy, and lo and behold, the dog got into the shrooms, ate all of them. Apparently, Matt like walked in the room. He's like, "Oh shit!" And his wife was like, "What happened?" He's, "Nothing." And for the next 8 hours, the dog did nothing but play. So Matt had to take his dog to the fucking dog park at 2 a.m. and the thing is just sprinting laps around the fucking dog park. Fuck taking shrooms like that. Holy shit. I don't know how we got here.
No idea.
How the fuck did we get
From
on?
your frustration of like, if you're
Oh,
the
Matt's not a
asshole or-
threatening guy. He just gives like,
Oh
his
yeah,
dog.
dog
Like,
shrooms, yeah.
he's a moron who goes to the fucking dog park at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
while
but
his dog.
he still threatens people in academic locations.
Just by being on the other side.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing that's starting to like, and like obviously that doesn't translate to like Logan and Claudio or Drew and them. Like that translates to people who like, when I walk in a room, you just don't like me. You just, before I've ever even said anything, you just don't like me. And like I've experienced that enough that like before I just like, people don't like people. But no, you guys genuinely just have this innate distaste for me before I've done anything to you.
Dude, when I come here, on the drive here, I get like anxiety.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, oh shit, dude. About to talk to this motherfucker. Like, oh man.
We got a fucking 3 hours of just
yeah, but like I
shit.
know it's fine. Like I know it's completely fine, but just it still like gets in the back of my
Oh
head.
yeah, I understand. I get fucking anxious about having to come in here and do this by myself.
Yeah.
So like having like an actual big conversation, I understand. Especially with like how lackluster it is day in, day out.
Oh yeah, and
In
it's
the
just
same
like
house.
months of just nothing.
Yeah. I can understand how that ends up being fucking,
Yeah.
intimidating. All right, Stefan, let's challenge preconceived notions.
Let's just get all
Let's
in it.
get it going.
Yeah.
Fucking, I wish I was fucking smarter. I wish I could fucking get myself to read more, dude. I don't know how you do it.
I just listened to. Well, okay. Recently, I really haven't been able to, just because with the sticker job, I'm constantly focused on like doing graphic work and like operating the machines and shit. But I would just listen to audiobooks day in and day out, and then I would pause the audiobook and I would just sit. I would like do work like picking leaves or like trimming and I would sit and think about it for just hours, and then I would go on again and just.
I suck at listening to audiobooks. Like I have to be in like driving. I can do it.
Yeah.
If I'm like
There are
I can't
times-
listen to a podcast while I'm playing the game.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. You have to be 100% focused on it. The only reason
Yeah,
that I could
and that's
do it
my
while I
issue
was
is like
plucking
if I'm going to
leaves-
be 100% focused on it, why the fuck am I using an audiobook?
Right.
And if I'm reading, I get fucking bored in an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I don't pick the book up for another 3 days.
I've been struggling to get through this book called House of Leaves, and
I
it's
still haven't finished King, Warrior, Lover, Magician. I'm on like the last chapter. Like I'm on the end of Lover going into the conclusion, and I just haven't picked it up in like 2 weeks.
like, have you ever just laid in bed with your headphones on and just listened to the book? You're just in a comfortable position.
I've listened
listening
to
to it.
2 books like that.
I think it works pretty decent.
I can't do it with like my thing is with like these type of books, like Darth Bane. I got through Darth Bane, all 3 of them in like a week. Like, it was
Yeah, because it's not like challenge. It's not like crushing your brain.
yeah, it's just me listening to a story.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I read these, I feel like I know that I'm not going to retain all that information. So I feel like what I need to do is write it down.
Yeah.
And writing it down isn't necessarily so I can come back and look at it. It's just to help me remember.
So
But that ends up taking an hour of reading into 3 hours. And I've made what, 1 chapter of progress?
I watched this video of this guy on YouTube. He's like a philosophy professor, and he made a video on how to read more philosophy books, just in general. And he was like, the biggest misconception with philosophy is that you have to sit there and read all of it and like take it all in and like write a bunch of notes. Don't, just read it through, do it fast, jot down like little tiny words that like trigger certain memories or like
I'm
points.
telling you, dude, I can't remember any of it.
And then you reread it.
See, rereading it, I can understand.
You just wait like a month and then you just go back to it and then all of a sudden it's in there.
That's probably what I'm going to do on those next books. Whenever I finish that one, I'm going to do that on those next ones. Because I got fucking a pile of 4 books sitting right there waiting for me that I haven't
Yeah.
even opened yet.
Dude, I have like 50 audiobooks in my playlist that I just haven't even touched.
Like, I wish I lived in a time where you could just download information to your fucking head.
Man, it'd be nuts.
Yeah, well, which I guess will be available when Neuralink comes around.
Oh wow, great segue.
Thanks. It's almost like I've been practicing. Like, yeah, I think Neuralink is pretty cool, but did you see the FDA disapproved human trials?
No.
Yeah. Fucking Elon said they're completely ready. Everything's up to code. The FDA said, no, you're not.
I think if somebody is consenting, then they should be able to try it.
Yeah, that's the issue about fucking medical ethics is that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
A board of directors and fucking scientists have to agree, then you can do that.
Well, shit.
Yeah. Neuralink would be sick nasty though. Just being able to download information. I think if you want to get Neuralink into the human market, you gotta start promoting it.
As like what it could be in the future.
No, like actually start using them. Like the tweet I made about fucking we should reopen the Coliseum
Yeah.
and start making like polar bears fight grizzly bears. Like we use them.
Yeah.
Show the possibility. Create some fucking like insanely advanced like take a horse that broke its leg in a race and fucking give it a new leg. Make it completely functional and no issues for the horse. To the point the horse can't even tell it doesn't have a leg. Like,
Yeah, that is a good point. Give it like a practical application that people can wrap their minds around so that they're just down with it.
like start curing animals that have blindness, because that's apparently one of your biggest things is getting rid of human blindness and neurodegenerative diseases.
Yeah, and like seizures
start
and
showing
stuff.
that. People's dogs suffer dementia and Alzheimer's all the time. Go into that field. I imagine the same fucking people who are willing to get a microchip in their dog so that they can track it are willing to get a fucking chip in their dog's brain so that it'll last another 5 years. And also, crazy idea, when you have a fucking complete neural circuit wired to the brain of a fucking creature, it's almost like you don't got to take your dog to the vet for checkups. It's almost like you have an interface that'll tell you if anything's wrong.
Yeah, you like take a blood test and then you just use that as like a baseline comparison for everything that the Neuralink.
It's almost
in,
yeah,
like,
and it's
yeah.
almost like you could very easily start applying this science to the real world in a way that people will be like, "Wait, if you can do that for dogs, do that for me. What the fuck?"
Yeah, make selfish people want it.
Yeah, make their fucking desires
Yeah.
yearn for it. That's how capitalism works. Fucking do it. Like, you know there's people on Twitter, senators and shit, who are like trying to shit talk Elon's business running habits.
I'm not surprised.
Because Elon made one of the senators fucking retweeted his whole spiel about the QAnon shaman should be fucking released, especially based on this footage. Like, he's not doing anything to officers, and the officers are helping him. Obviously, they don't think he's committing a crime. The idea that in, later fucking following weeks and months, he can be persecuted and put in fucking prison for 4 years is insane. The senator says something about like, "Oh, you don't know anything. You have no authority on this subject." Like, it was actually what you're saying is dangerous. That's the new narrative. Is that anybody revealing
any words are dangerous now. They will kill massive amounts of the population.
Well, specifically this January 6th shit. Like, I've seen like countless representatives and senators, Jean-Pierre, you can't believe the facts that he's saying. Fucking like, they genuinely say, this is dangerous, this is misinformation, you guys can't believe this. That's insane. Elon quote tweeted him and says, "You ever think about getting a job in comedy?" "You ever think about getting a job in business?" was his quote tweet back, and it's just like,
I love that. That's,
you got him.
I love that. That's the kind of dig that they have, where it's no different from
Oh, one of-
everybody else on Twitter.
You're one of the richest men on the planet? Dude, you don't even know how to run a business.
Yeah.
Huh? Come on now. Are you that fucking retarded?
And you're helping to run the country.
And dude, and then fucking somebody tweeted underneath it. It was like, crazy that you're questioning the business model of one of the richest men in history.
Yeah. Who owns multiple
And
conglomerates.
then of course there's a reply to that has thousands of likes. Ratio's the first guy. Actually, the richest man in history was a black man? And then links to some fucking African tribe of, slavery and abuse and fucking corruption. It's just like, first of all, why did this become a black and white thing? Secondly, sure, maybe the guy fucked up and said one of the richest men in history. He didn't say the richest in history.
Yeah, one of.
He said one of, which still qualifies him. You're like, I promise you, he still falls in the 1% of all humans throughout history.
Yeah.
regardless, in the past year, he had earned the title richest man in the world. So the idea that like, you're so stupid. It was actually a black dude from African nation,
Who
dude.
died like 1,000 years ago? Why
You're
does it
so
matter?
stupid.
The fuck does it matter?
I saw another fucking tweet that was like a reply that was like, I genuinely don't understand why people are fans of Elon Musk. I don't understand. And I was just like, yeah, I don't get it either. Why would people like the fucking billionaire who builds a bunch of cool technology and also supports free speech?
Yeah.
He's not even on TikTok. He's a fucking loser.
Talk shit about all the people we love to talk shit about.
Why would anybody like him? I can't fathom it. I just nothing crossing my mind on why people could enjoy this guy. It's insane. The idea that these people genuinely believe this shit, I don't know what to do about it.
I don't know, man. I don't know either. But like you said, I just fucking
Keep it pushing.
focus on the self. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, stay within yourself. Fucking get better.
Yeah, like, dude, I know it's not the best move, but like, I just haven't been on Twitter. I just haven't been looking at shit.
Oh, I support it.
I just
get bored. My thing
I-
is, I'm trying not to smoke weed. I need to distract myself.
Yeah. But like, I look at all the stuff that you send me because it's usually pretty entertaining and like interesting.
Try my best.
But like, god damn, man, the fucking social media is so boring and just aggravating and nothing. It is nothing. It is like eating white bread. It is fuck all. It is just pointless, empty calories to waste my time, waste my energy.
Yup.
Do anything else, please, and the platforms will improve.
They just get better at making you want to do it.
Just get the fuck off of it, and the platform will get better. People will have things to talk about. People will have opinions formed. Like we just, and I've fallen into this too, where it's like, instead of thinking, I just go on social media and look at other people's opinions, and I just go, yeah, that's it. Okay. And then we just get this regurgitation of the same bullshit.
Yeah, you're just
over and over and
parroting a
over and
narrative
over again.
from someone else.
And this is exactly why I fell off of COVID. This is exactly why I fell off of Jan 6. This is exactly why I fell off of the fucking train derailment. Because it's the same bullshit day in and day out, and it offers nothing to my fucking mind. And it just makes me feel like shit. Mm-hmm. It's good to talk about it. In fact, I encourage us to talk about it. But at least do something with it. Fucking anything. That's why I love that video of the guy who, with the Ohio train derailment, who's like a chemist or like a transportation guy who's just like, yeah, no, instead of just this political bullshit,
I came here to test it.
Let's look at the engineering behind it. Let's look at the policies that could have been fixed with it instead of these fucking talking points that never change.
But just propaganda.
He's
propaganda.
expanding the argument. He's zooming out and looking at the greater picture. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that if you're surrounded by the same bullshit day in and day out, and that's what you reiterate in your mind because that's what you're reading all day.
Mm-hmm. And on that point, I'd like to point out that take your example of guy who goes there, actually breaks it down and starts giving more information than anyone else.
Yes.
Stefan, which side of the political line do you think ostracizes said individual, and which side do you think brings him in?
Oh, I wonder. Democrats sure weren't happy about it, I'm sure.
Like, this is the thing that, like, people can't realize they are so fucking politically inclined instead of ideologically inclined.
Yes.
It's like, dude, you buy COVID, you buy the January 6th, you buy that Trump's evil, you buy that the train was an accident, you buy that the government's good, you buy that fucking we should go to war with Russia. Like, you support all of these things, and somehow, with zero information to back it up, with a basic conversation with you, I can tell that you have nothing. You've never thought about this. You just think this is what we should do. You're just like, well, yeah, that's what we should do. the fact that you have all of that, and then you will look at the other side and be like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. When this guy is sitting here breaking down pounds of information, and you just go, no, that's not true. Why isn't that true? Well,
As you
COVID's
sit on
good
your
for you.
couch, the human blob, ordering your DoorDash, fucking staring at your phone, criticizing the guy who's going out doing field research, who is an expert in his fucking field, who is, like, who are you?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And like, I'm not some fucking scientist. I'm not some fucking private investigator. I'm not some position of fucking authority. But at the very least, I'm a person who's asking questions. You won't even do that. You genuinely just buy it. You said, this is what they said, so this is what it is. That doesn't work. That benefits nobody, least of all you. And the fact that like you can ostracize other people on views that aren't even your own is insane to me. And like they just fucking do it. They don't stop. They grow and they amass more and more of these people because you don't want to be left out of the group.
And then life becomes mob mentality. Like, that's all thought becomes, is just mob mentality. Because you are staring at the mob all day, every day.
This is why I think we're going to war. Because, Stefan, when I'm at work and I'm working with coworkers and I ask them, hey, if we get drafted, which side are you fighting for? Their responses aren't, well, I'm going to fight for Ukraine. Or, well, I'm going to fight for Russia. The responses are, well, Ukraine's the right thing to say, right? Like, genuinely, quote, unquote, that is a response I got from a fucking man.
Ukraine is the right thing to say.
He was just like, well, like, you gotta say Ukraine, right?
That's what you're supposed to.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you don't have an opinion, yet you will go and die for this. Are you retarded? Like, why are you willing to go and throw away your life because they said do it? Sure, if they say do it and you evaluate it and deem it as a reasonable and fucking, like, righteous cause, go fucking do it. But you haven't even asked a question. You just said, I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, you eat your slop when it's poured in front of you. I mean,
And so, like, the fact that that people in the general public respond that way to it is what makes me feel that they're just conditioning these motherfuckers to get ready. You're just gonna do it. It's gonna happen. You're gonna go. It's not up to you. Just accept that. No. No. I promise you, I will either fucking run and not get fucking drafted, or I will get arrested by the military police, shipped over to Ukraine, and I will fucking defect to Russia. I am being 180% honest with you. Every fucking ounce of my being, I agree more with the political fucking going-ons of the dictatorship that is the fucking evil, corrupt Russia over America right now. Because at the very least, the Russian the Russian government isn't trying to destroy their own citizens. That's it.
I don't know, man. They are shipping off, like, a lot of people to that war. Like, they're drafting a lot of fucking people. And they're kind of destroying their, like, male population.
Yeah, that's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, like, it's also in response, and, like, Putin's crazy, and
Well, like,
he desperately wants to win, but, like...
No. I'm sick of this viewpoint that, like, Russia is this fucking entity that's just, like, swinging and lashing out. No, there's a noose closing around their fucking neck, and they're giving their last fucking stand. Like, this is Germany pre-World War fucking II. Like, this is what we're looking at. Is the entire fucking world going, you guys are evil.
Yeah, and then the response is, like, that desperation that we all call insanity.
It's like, no, I'm trying to survive. I'm trying not to get fucking corrupted by liberal Western ideology. I'm trying not to get fucking NATO surrounding our borders with missiles. Like, and also, Ukraine fucking sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't a great place to begin with.
Over 50% of its fucking inhabitants identify as Russian. Not ethnically, identify. Like, they view themselves as Russians who live in Ukraine.
I mean, it wasn't its own country until the Soviet Union collapsed, wasn't it?
Exactly.
It was only 30 years ago.
Exactly. It's almost like there's still tons of fucking people who still believe that they are part of that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate that people believe that this war is going how they say it's going. That people don't think everything they've seen about this war is propaganda. It is. All of it. All of it. Everything. The Ghost of Kyiv, this new fucking Ukrainian war hero who got shot for saying glory to Ukraine. It's like,
I haven't seen that yet.
dude, it's like, they showed a guy in a military outfit in a fucking trench who supposedly is this war hero who was killed by Russian soldiers. It's like, yeah, you guys are at war. That happens. Like, why are you making such a big deal about this guy? The Russians killed him. It's like, yeah, you guys are at war. Why is one guy dying all of a sudden the national tragedy? It's almost like it's not going like that, and you guys are needing any bit of fucking, terror you can to fucking stoke the flames.
Yeah, I mean, just like the fanatical responses of people, it just says it all. It's like this has become like a cult at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, I guarantee the people who are 100% pro-Ukraine have never seen the videos of like Ukrainian soldiers just beating the shit out of
Tying
Russian
women and
soldiers.
children to poles,
Like,
stripping
flaying
them
people.
and beating them.
Like, this is a war. This isn't a sports game. This is like this is combat. This is fucking killing people for political motives. Like, this is not a game. It's real.
And
But we're so like pulled back from it. We're behind so many layers that it's just like, at this point,
yeah,
who
we
even
can't
cares?
exist in the
It's like a
reality
video
of like
game to people.
people are murdering each other over nothing.
Over nothing. Making life significantly harder for everybody on every side.
Like, I'm sorry, before the war in Ukraine, BBC, CNN, fucking CNBC, every fucking like major liberal network in this country and in Europe has countless fucking documentaries, articles about how corrupt and evil Ukraine is. There's countless articles about child human sex trafficking going on in the Ukraine. Why all of a sudden are we pretending that these are righteous fucking people who need our help? Zelensky is literally like a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the videos of him in like New York City wearing like drag outfits and shit like that? Like, this isn't a fucking president. This isn't a political fucking figure. This is a puppet. This is a guy who's getting paid in villas in the UK and villas in fucking Florida.
I love his wife was doing like photo shoots for like beautifying trauma. Like these war footage shoots when she's like not even on at the war, and it's just like it's like the Greta Thunberg thing.
Do you see the dude? She got arrested in the exact same way at another place. This time at a wind farm.
Okay.
Why she was protesting a wind farm? Because those are bad now too, I guess. Even though she spent her entire career telling everybody that nuclear energy bad, fossil fuel bad, wind bad.
Let's just go back to the Stone Age.
No energy.
be
Get
apes.
rid of power. If you want electricity, you gotta wait for a thunderstorm.
Yeah, let's just regress back. Let's become the missing link again.
Yeah. And then like these people somehow like believe that she's actually getting arrested when the police are holding her
videos.
in place, waiting for all the cameras to get every fucking
it
shot,
is
and
egregious.
then the time where they picked her up and walked her because, in her own words, she didn't want to get her boots muddy?
Yeah, look at any other video of people actually getting arrested. I guarantee they're not being treated that well. Like, what makes you think this is the same?
And why are the police waiting for the cameras?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's not real. None of it is real. And these people just... Like, I hate all this. I hate all of it. I need to get back into working out and reading and fucking...
yep.
First step in that is fucking dropping this weed, though. Sitting right here, right now, all I'm craving is to go out there and rip that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know, give it a couple months and you'll be fine.
Which it is 8:30. Well, I don't have a couple months.
I mean, I've been trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. Finally.
That's the
Get my-
easiest thing to
get my
fix.
shit on. Not if you've been sleeping in the worst ways since you were like 12.
Yeah, but you also know how to fucking reset your circadian clock in like 2 days.
I do, bro, but like I've been trying and it doesn't matter if I sleep 6 hours, 9 hours, 7.5. That shit is brutal.
What do you mean?
Like I time it to circadian rhythms, but like even then it's like when I wake up I go outside, sit outside for even 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and this shit is fucking tough to wake up. It is difficult, man. I'm like falling asleep making breakfast. And then like if I don't set an alarm or if I don't set 3 alarms, man, I'm sleeping through them. Straight up. I'm just not even going to wake up.
That is wild.
Like
Why don't you just go to bed earlier?
I do, and then I end up sitting in bed for 2 hours not sleeping.
So that's your issue.
Yeah, and then like I tried
The
to
issue
do it.
isn't getting up. Getting up you can do. The issue is getting up rested, it seems. So
So I've been trying to just, even if it isn't at proper times right now, I'm just trying to get a solid block of sleep the same amount every single night. And then when I can finally get that down, I'm just going to start rolling back the hours, going to bed 15 minutes early. Okay, do that for a couple of days. Rolling it back another 15 minutes. And until I finally can have like a regular sleep schedule.
I completely do not relate. I can change my sleep schedule like that. I can, I got, like, perfect example. Tomorrow, I got to be work at 7. I don't remember the last time I had to be work at 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be up at fucking 5, 6 o'clock. Easy. That's no problem. I'm going to be up. I probably won't even have to set an alarm.
Yeah. I don't know. My natural system just, for whatever reason, it loves to go towards the night. I just like being up at night. I get energy at night. I end up sleeping throughout the day.
That's called being human, bud. Yeah. When you're supposed to go to bed and you don't, you fucking get a little fucking...
Yeah, it's easier to roll back, your sleep schedule than it is to roll it forward or whatever.
Have you ever heard the like I don't know where it came from, but it's this concept that like the reason we tend to do that and certain people tend to do it more is because you're lacking freedom.
Mm.
You're lacking freedom, and the only time that you can find it is in the recesses of the night where it's all yours. It's everything I want.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody to tell me what to do. There's no responsibilities right now. I just get to exist.
Mm-hmm.
And you escape into it.
100% agree, yeah.
You escape into
100%.
it. The trick is going to be telling yourself go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. You just like 10, 11 o'clock comes around and you'll be like, I got to go to bed.
It's just that discipline of just being like, all right, up, in bed. And then doing it. And then forcing your body to follow along with your thoughts. Because I can think about like, all right, I'm going to go to bed at 11, but still go to bed at 2. Like,
oh, see, no. As soon as it hits fucking, I'd be looking at my phone and be like, oh, it's late. Shit, I got to go to bed.
yeah.
No.
I don't even care at some points. I'm just like, all right, well, I got to take my cats to the bed at 8. Well, fucking, it's 4.
I need my sleep. I nap, bro. I need sleep.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Fucking,
Yeah.
which is something I don't do as much as when I'm working is nap, but I had a nice one today.
Yeah, if I nap, I'm just done for the day. It's over.
I love a nap.
Yeah, when we
It depends on when I take it. Because, like, if I take a nap at, like, fucking 3 o'clock, I'm sleeping till 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But if I take a nap at, like, 11 to 1, sleep for, like, 2 hours, wake up, I'm like, yeah, let's get the rest of this day going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fucking... I think I'm going to have to get a new car. I think I am. I went to go... I was looking at a Chevy Volt the other week.
Like a sedan? What is it?
Yeah, it's just a fucking car, but it's a hybrid,
Mm-hmm.
and it can drive solely electric. So
That's cool.
it charges the battery using the brakes like most EVs or most hybrids, and then the battery has like a charge of like 40 to 50 miles, I think. So like say you commute to work that's rather close, you just drive to and from work on only electric,
Mm-hmm.
charge it when you get home because you can plug it in. You don't have to, but you can if you want to drive it on solely electric.
Yeah, so what, can you just take like a Tesla recharging station? Like what, how do you
Probably.
recharge it?
You can buy a charger for the house, but it's like $200.
That's it? Holy shit.
It's just a fucking cord.
Like a wall cord?
I don't know the socket, but I'd assume.
God damn. I didn't know it was that easy.
Depends on the car. Like Teslas, I'm pretty sure you need like a specific type of hookup.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool.
But
Just plug that sucker in.
yeah, I was gonna get it, but then I, didn't realize how much the insurance was gonna be.
Mm.
So I was just like, yeah, I can't do this right now. I need more money. But now that I'm getting paid more money, I'm willing to go get.
What, were you going to get it used?
Yeah, dude, I do not have an extra fucking $500 a month for a brand new car.
So you're going to make like used payments on it?
Yeah.
How much is it? Because I just want to know like extra cars just in case.
Well,
Things to look at.
the depends on like the range, the miles.
Right.
Like you can get a Chevy Volt for fucking $8,000, or you can get a Chevy Volt for fucking 17.
Gotcha.
So it depends. I think the one I was looking at was like 13, and it was gonna be like $280 a month.
Yeah, because I see like used Teslas for like 35, like a used, just like a used Charger is going to be fucking expensive. A used Honda Accord is going to be pretty cheap,
Yeah, well,
I just want to know like that range.
the thing is anything new is not going to be cheap.
Right.
Like, I promise you, anything 2018 and above is $400 a month and more.
Jesus.
And that's not counting your full coverage insurance that you got to pay for.
Right.
Because when you're financing a car, you have to get full coverage. You can't get liability.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't do that, especially with my SR22 still. It was
What's an SR22?
for when I got my license suspended for driving without insurance. Remember that?
Yeah.
So you gotta pay for an SR22 on your insurance, which is like, I didn't have insurance, and now I gotta pay this extra fee for 2 years, which is about to be over. And then I'll probably get a new car before that though, because I don't want to fix the Focus, and I'd rather not fix the LS, even though I love the LS.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I turn too far, it go and fucking when like I first start driving it every day I first start driving it, like as I accelerate between like 10 to 20 miles an hour, I'll get this weird little coming from like underneath the car in the back. Don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's not all brakes.
But
So there's
it
definitely
does
more
it every
shit.
time, and I don't know what the fuck it is. And then the brakes are another problem. Those things, the brake lines are leaking, so I need those. Yeah.
All right.
And on top of that, the suspension could use replacing. I could use new tires, new brakes.
It's like Ship of Theseus. Like, at what point is it just a brand new car? You
And-
get so much shit that it's just, all right, it's not even an LS anymore. We got a fucking Fusion.
So just no.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm not gonna do that. So chances are, not tomorrow, but Tuesday when I'm off, I'm gonna go up to the dealership, see about getting me a new car, trading them in.
Wait, so when you go to the dealership, is like, it's not leased?
You lease a new.
You just lease new cars?
Yeah, you lease new cars.
Okay.
You don't lease old cars.
Okay.
I assume you probably can in certain situations, but like
Why would you want to?
most of the time, a car that's past a certain age, that's like voided its warranties and shit, it will no longer be a lease. Because like a lease is, you're basically renting the fucking car.
Yeah.
So that every fucking issue with the car, they'll take care of. Whereas they're not going to want to take care of a car that's been driven by 3 different owners and then sold. Like, I was at a Toyota dealership and they're selling me a Chevy Volt. If you think they're going to lease me that, it ain't happening. So, fucking, you know, you got to finance them. But that also means then when you're done making your payments, it's yours.
Right.
But something tells me whatever used car I get, I will not be keeping for the entire finance. Because, like, it comes out to be like 7 years or some shit. If you like paying off a car.
God damn. If you have like multiple payments and then you just say, all right, 2 years into it, I'm just gonna pay it all off.
You can do that.
You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do that with my fucking phone and they just wouldn't let me. It's like, dude, it was so shitty.
Yeah, that's not. You're supposed to be able to.
Yeah, it was complete bogus, and like of course, it wasn't a corporate store. So
Yeah,
like, those fuckers are just. Gonna
I
scam
just
you.
switched my fucking phone plan yesterday. Cause fucking I have that shitty fucking T-Mobile Wi-Fi that sucks horse dick. Even in this house, it still doesn't go above 2
It
bars.
actually doesn't do anything.
It still does not go above 2 bars on that signal thing. 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
So cancel that. My phone bill plus that thing is $154 a month. My phone's paid off.
Jesus Christ.
That's insane. Even with that thing being $50 a month, $100 is too much for a phone that's paid off. For signal that still doesn't fucking work in this area.
Bro.
Because I don't know if you're aware, all of 130th is a fucking cell blackout zone.
No, I know. That blows, dude.
You all the way to my dad's street on 129th. Like back in the day when I used to walk the dogs, if I was listening to something on my headphones, when I got up to the top of our street, it would cut. It would just start freezing. It still does it to this day. And now all the way from Lorraine to fucking here, you get horrible signal. Like, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm canceling it. And like, I went from T-Mobile to Metro PCS. Metro is by T-Mobile. They use the same fucking service carrier.
Is this better?
No, but it's $50 a month.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
It's like, I get the same exact service for $100 cheaper.
It's a scam. Dude, I have Xfinity at home. Xfinity Internet. And I wanted to change my plan because originally I was sharing it, but not anymore. So it's like, I don't need this much Wi-Fi. I want to get like half of it and hopefully get it cheaper. It's more expensive to get less Wi-Fi. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. So
Yeah.
now I'm stuck paying $80 when like if I just made a new identity basically and got it again, I could pay cheaper.
Fucking the Wi-Fi that we have, fucking Spectrum. First of all, gigabyte a month, or gigabyte of speeds, still cuts out on the PlayStation every 4 minutes. Just, oh, you got kicked from the game world. We don't know what happened. Retry. And then it loads back in. The fucking thing will give me 300 to 600 megabytes per second when I test the speeds. No, fuck you. Still disconnects. Drops all the time. And then I was hooked up on my PlayStation to that because, you know, the 5G sucks. And Jacob and Nadia took me off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, well, that's kind of rude.
was kind of rude.
Because like
Come on,
the
now.
deal in the beginning was that like they could use that for their phones, and we would all use that for consoles. That way we weren't separating bandwidth. But they don't like that. It sucks dick. Half the time they can't connect back in their room, even though it was next to their room. The thing sucks so bad. So I just decided, well, fuck it. I'm not going to keep paying for this thing if nobody fucking uses it. The only thing that is connected on it is my phone and the laptop when I open it. Like, I don't need that. So get rid of that. I'm looking at Spectrum fucking plans because you can't get any other ISP in this area. It's only Spectrum.
It is unbelievable for people to really believe that internet service providers aren't monopolies.
That they're not fucking you in your mouth. The fact that like their service could not be better.
Yeah.
It
Oops.
180%. It could be 180% better.
Yeah. Oops. Accidentally. There's only one option for you in your entire region. Sorry.
That's it.
That's all. You don't have an option. You just have to suffer with this bullshit.
Or no Wi-Fi. You could do no Wi-Fi.
Or no Wi-Fi and be
But
completely
like you know, you
disconnected
have
from
no
the world.
signal in your area, no
Yeah.
cell service. But you could do no Wi-Fi.
Work
It's
from home.
it's insane.
Work from home.
And then
Don't come to the office.
when I call them and I tell them, hey, we have a line here at the house. I'd like to purchase another one for myself. Well, we can add it on to the other line. No. I need my own. I don't have access to the other one. I would like my own. Well, we can send that and get it set up. Well, you can't just send it to me because I can't connect a wire from the fucking telephone pole to my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of your technicians are going to have to come do that. Because we already have one, but it's hooked into a Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't use that Wi-Fi. So I need my own. And they were like, yeah, we can't do 2 lines at one house. We can add it onto your brother's package, though. It's like, I just specified how that's not going to work.
You're more than capable of hooking up a second wire to the thing that you hooked up a first wire to.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're telling me the wire outside that connects to every fucking house in this area can't have 2 running into the same house.
Yeah, get a splitter. Get a splitter. Problem's like $8 at Walmart.
Like, I just refuse to believe that. So then, like, I'm looking at their plans, and it's like $60 a month, $70 a month, and then like $90 a month. And it was for like 300, 500, 1 gig. And I was telling Jacob and him, I was like, we're going to have to talk about this Wi-Fi, because like I need Wi-Fi because I don't get signal, and I'm not paying for this 5G shit box. And I can't get any other Wi-Fi at this house.
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers are paying $125 a month. And I'm like, dude, y'all gotta call them because this says $90.
Yeah.
It's an extra $5 if you get the advanced Wi-Fi. Like, there is no way in hell you all should be paying that much. And they were like, yeah, they've just been raising it like month after month. I was like, that's not allowed.
yeah.
They're not allowed to do that. You signed a contract. The contract is for 12 months.
How many months has it been?
Not 12.
12.
Fucking, I haven't lived here 12 months, and we got the Wi-Fi after I moved back.
Yeah.
So,
Jesus, man.
you know, it's just, I hate fucking internet service providers. I always have. The idea that there's not some algorithm running this shit that just says fuck certain individuals and certain demographics is bullshit.
Insane.
It's gotten to the point, Stefan, where like I 100% believe that there is an algorithm or algorithms that are running society.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd be surprised if they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's
Like, the technology has been around for so long at this point, and like,
and all it would take is somebody doing it.
yeah, like if you imagine all the crazy shit that we had after World War II, like we had helicopters in the 50s. People were still flying like biplanes in World War II. That was 10 years.
People
You
were
think
trying to
that-
create algorithms before we had like data sets that were just being collected. Like people were trying to find data to create
Yeah, like-
algorithms. The idea that like we've created the largest form of like information collection and storage, and then just decided to do nothing with it is retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's-
all of that is being shoved into a fucking AI that has an interface for the people in power to do what they want and control things how they want. Because trust me, all it would take is a few fucking $1 million moving around this way, that way, or the other, a few fucking materials getting shipped one way or the other, and all of a sudden you can create the economic collapser of a country or the new fucking world superpower. It's not that fucking hard.
It wouldn't be difficult to set something up like that in secret. Look at all the money that we just printed.
And crazy,
Here you go.
crazy how once it's going, it'll be able to predict when and how the secret could get revealed, who might reveal said secret, who might figure it out, and you can just mitigate all that. You can predict how people might, evolve 30 years in the future and completely cripple their lifestyle. That way they can never amount to it. Mm-hmm. Like, you can do a bunch of shit with that level of information. Like, people love to deem themselves as, like, unique and incapable of being fucking, like,
No, we're still human
isolated to numbers and probability. And it's like, no.
beings. We're big apes.
It's wild
But-
because as soon as you look at a group, all individuality goes out the window.
Yeah. There's this book called Foundation by Isaac Asimov.
It's a nice name.
And the crux of it is that there is a great it's like a galactic empire. This empire spans the entire Milky Way galaxy.
That's tight.
And it's completely just like fully functional. It's perfectly fine until this guy develops this field of research called psychohistory, which is basically the study of large groups and how to predict the future out of that. And then he just says like, oh yeah, within the next like 100 years, this entire galactic empire is going to collapse, and you're going to fall into a dark age for the next 10,000 years. But if you guys follow my fucking instructions, we can reduce that to only 1,000 years. It's still going to happen no matter what, but we should at least reduce it. And so the entire book is like all these people playing out this guy's like predictions, but nobody knows the plan, because the second that people know the plan collapses, because it's based off of people just acting
as group entities.
as like normal as possible. So everybody is like freaking out, like, oh, the plan's not going to work. Like things aren't going the way that they should. And then in the end, of course, the fucking plan works because the dude figured it out, and that's the point. But it just reminded me of that, like psychohistory, the study of giant groups is just going. Yeah, we can just predict the future. Mm-hmm. We're so predictable.
Something about that though is like people would never appreciate that.
What, like that job of just predicting everything and trying to set up this master plan?
No, like even if it worked, like it works in the thing, right? And he reduces it to 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gonna like accept that. Everybody's gonna be like they didn't experience the 10,000 years of badness. All they experienced was this badness, and this is the worst badness, and so this bad is as bad as it could be.
Yeah, he gets like exiled and then sets up this planet called Terminus, which is basically like the science capital of the world. And it's like, all right, we're going to do like atomic energy and fucking advanced science here. And then there's another safe haven that knows about the plan on the other side of the galaxy. And that is like never talked about. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody knows what it is. And it turns out that it's a fucking psychology colony where they only practice psychology. And they're the ones who take over the psychohistory field. And they keep the plan running.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It's almost like the CIA with, what was that? What was that fucking... Oh, what the fuck? What was the LSD experiments?
Oh, it wasn't MK Ultra. It was
Yeah,
something else.
that was it.
It was?
That was it. MK Ultra. Yeah. So it's like, MK Ultra and us fucking, drugging civilians and fucking studying how we could turn them into sleeper soldiers or puppets, figuring out how psychology works on them and how it works on a fucking psychedelic mind.
And then all of a sudden, psychedelic research is totally cool. Weed is legal.
Well, that's still not a thing.
Yeah, that's
Weed
true.
still isn't legal.
That is true. That's true.
Maybe on a state level in certain places, but federally, still criminalized.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris for the dub. Baby girl locking up kids for smoking pot. Sending them to prison labor camps.
Thank God, man.
Baby girl. We actually closed Chrome with that. That's fascinating. I love that. We actually hit 3 hours.
Nice.
You think it's about time to call it?
Yep. I gotta go home, man.
You got any last words? Anything to say?
I don't, because my brain is utterly fried right now.
Yeah, I'm running on empty
Yeah,
right about
dude.
now. I've just basically let go of like the past 4 weeks of just thought and anger and emotion. Just
Yeah. I feel like if I got on a scale, I'd be like 15 pounds lighter.
yeah, definitely
Just-
feeling a little light right
Just in brain mass.
Bro,
it's
just
finally shrunk.
burned so many calories sitting here.
Yeah.
All right, that was Chef's Pot episode 13, maybe also episode 14. Thank you, Stefan, for coming. It's good
a
to see
pleasure.
you again.
A pleasure. I will be back at some point.
I don't know how next week's gonna go. It'll probably just end up being me solo dolo, which will also end up being a short podcast, which is why this might get split into two.
I mean, you know, it's 1.5 hours. It's not bad. Like,
Yeah, I know. We just split this
more
into
accessible, if
fucking
anything.
exactly, and like that's why I got into the habit of doing the 2-hour episodes. Is that way I can start splitting them when I need to or
Mm-hmm.
want to. Is like I need to be able to sit down and record for that long. That way I'm not struggling for an hour, and then if I need a second hour, I'm struggling the whole way through. It's like no,
Right.
let's see if we can master 2 hours. We got 3, 5 minutes short. I fucking think that's a good way to go.
all right.